BAWP Awards 2017. We are only able to hold this event due to the generosity and support of our sponsors. Please take the opportunity to visit their stands during the break. We couldn't be here without them. We will be selling raffle tickets for a draw to be held at the end of the lunch service in aid of Starlight Children. This is a great charity and brightens the lives of seriously and terminally ill children by granting wishes of a lifetime and providing them with fun and laughter and entertainment to over 500,000 poorly children in hospitals and hospices across the UK. So please dig deep. I'm going to hand you over now to Dee Collins, the President of BAWP.
Thank you, Victoria. Wow, good morning, everyone. Good morning. You see, this is the thing about this kind of event. You just know that everybody's going to enjoy and take part. It's going to be really important today. Welcome to our 11th annual National Awards event here at Forest Pines Hotel in North Lincolnshire. It's fantastic to get together with all of you once again to celebrate the exceptional work and achievements of women in policing from across the UK. I must start by saying a huge thank you to the awards team for putting on such an enjoyable event last night to celebrate the 30th anniversary of our association and the immense progress that has been made during that time. It's also a real pleasure to have some of our founding members here with us today. We all come together at an incredibly difficult and challenging time for us all in UK policing. The terrorism threat has continued to escalate in a way that many of us have feared for many years, and we've now seen 3 serious terrorist incidents take place within the past few months. These attacks have resulted in dozens of innocent members of the public, including children, needlessly losing their lives. And as a service, we've been rocked by the tragic loss of our own colleagues, Keith Palmer and Elaine McIver. Such attacks not only stretch our policing resources to the limit, but also strike fear into our communities, encouraging hatred and division. And in this time of increased radicalisation and the fragmentation of some of our communities, it is incumbent upon the police service to ensure that we continue to contribute to community cohesion and stand strong against those who would seek us to cause us harm and derail our democracy. By continuing to build a diverse and more inclusive workforce which more accurately reflects and understands our communities, we will increase trust and confidence, helping us to tackle extremism and deliver an all-round better service. So the British Association of Women in Policing continues to play a key role in ensuring that the police service evolves into that modern, inclusive profession that will improve things for all of our officers, staff, volunteers, and ultimately the public. As forces around the country continue to recruit, it is essential that we do all we can to make our organisation as attractive as possible for women from all cultures and backgrounds. Indeed, we have much to celebrate of late as the total proportion of women within the police service continues to rise. Likewise, although underrepresentation in specialist posts and amongst chief officers remains an issue for us, we will continue to make significant progress. In early April, Cressida Dick took up her appointment as the Commissioner of the Met, and in doing so became the first female commissioner in the 188-year history of Scotland Yard. The significance of this appointment should not be underestimated, and it represents a huge step forward for our service. As my predecessor, as President of BAWP, Cressida has been an inspiration to women in policing over the course of many years, and this historic appointment only further cements her status as a monumental role model and an example to all of what can be achieved through talent, leadership, and ambition. You might get the impression I'm a bit of a fan. So, it's important to remember that you're all leaders in this room. Collectively, you represent the very best of women in policing, and I look to all of you to display this leadership and inspiration to women across the country. As the Women's Chief Officer Network mentoring lead, I'm an avid supporter of the mentoring process offered by BAWP. Effective coaching, mentoring and networking will ensure that we continue to drive the cultural change needed and equip our leaders of the future with the skills and confidence to overcome challenges and barriers that they may still encounter. It's therefore important for all of you today to take this opportunity to make new contacts, which will help to spread good practice and identify those who can actually help your own personal development. Fundamentally, this is why I think BAWP as a network is so important, and I'm confident I can count on your continued support now and in the future to increase our membership and span of influence across the service. We also continue to make progress with some of the more practical issues being faced by women in the service. For example, our representatives on the NPCC Body Armour Working Group are working with medical specialists and frontline officers to ensure that we have the very best kit for women who, for example, have undergone surgery for breast cancer or who are dealing with the effects of the menopause. I told you, Claire, I'd get the menopause in today. The purpose of today's event is not only to celebrate our collective success, but also to highlight and celebrate the individual and team excellence that is ultimately contributing towards the progress. As we're now coming to expect at these awards, the standard of nominations has been incredibly high this year, which only further highlights and reinforces the critical and integral role women have now forged in policing throughout the country. We received a total of 273 nominations this year, comprising of police officers of all ranks, police staff and volunteers from across 36 forces and 6 national agencies. The awards team have been working hard over a number of weeks to reduce this number to 40 finalists across our 10 categories. And as always, we're incredibly grateful to our final judging panel of Lisa Hogan, Nancy Shackleton, Emma Barnett and Jack Hawkins for selecting the 12 winners and 2 highly commended awards. A particular thank you needs to go to Commander Hawkins, who stepped in at short notice to cover for DCC Andy Rhodes, who had an important interview to get on that day on the final judging panel. To be fair, we owe Andy one in any case, because he did step in last year at last minute as one of our speakers. But let's just say well done to him on his appointment as Chief Constable of Lancashire, and he's here in the room. Well done, Andy. It's fantastic to see that one of our shortlisted candidates was nominated for the IAWP He for She Award, and that 4 of our winners here today are also winners of IAWP Awards. I was also delighted to learn that one of our nominations this year related to a transgender officer, even more significant in the fact that the nomination was made by the Christian Police Association. This is clear evidence to me that we are making real strides in our quest for equality across the service. I'd also like to take a moment to say a huge special thank you to all of our sponsors who play a key role in ensuring that we have this fantastic event and recognise the amazing achievements of women in policing over the past year. Once again, I must thank Sally Ramage for her unwavering support of our association over the years. Her contribution has made it possible for this event to be filmed today so that it can be later published online. So I know Sally will be watching this event later, so once again, camera's over there. Thank you, Sally, very much for your very kind donations to the event today. Likewise, thank you to all of our speakers, some of whom will be brought to us by the wonders of modern technology due to operational commitments arising from recent events. And I'm really looking forward to listening to you all and learning from your experiences. A quick reminder about the selling of raffle tickets this morning, which is in aid of the Starlight Children's Foundation. This year's prizes include, now then, is it Boss or Bossy? Bose. You see, a Bose speaker. I should have checked that before I got up here, shouldn't I? A 3-day retreat and also a Federation House voucher. So please dig deeply and give generously to such a worthy cause. I'd like to finish by saying that in challenging times like these, it's more important than ever that we actually take the opportunity to come together and focus on the good from what we do and on the people that make it happen. Today you're going to hear some exceptional stories of bravery, achievement, leadership and inspiration. You will hear stories of ordinary people doing extraordinary things. Today is our opportunity to stop, to reflect, to recognise and to say thank you. So I continue to feel extremely fortunate and to be proud to be the president of BAWP. I look forward to spending the day with you all and learning about your achievements. Enjoy the day and be sure to give a big cheer to our award winners. Thank you.
I'm honoured to be here today presenting these awards to a group of truly inspiring women. Recent tragic events have highlighted the severe challenges faced by today's police forces across the country and the critical importance of everything you do. I would like to let you know that we, the public, are eternally grateful for all of the unyielding work that you do, and you and your undoubted bravery on a daily basis, and we thank you for your selfless actions in keeping us safe in some of the most distressing situations. So thank you. Our first award today is for bravery and is sponsored by the Nicola Hughes Foundation and Gord Alex Limited. If I could invite the sponsors to the stage, please. In the early hours of Saturday, the 28th of May, 2016, PCs Julie Bennett and Leah Greenacre were sent out to carry out enquiries regarding a suspicious vehicle and the arrest attempts of a male who was wanted for a domestic assault. In a local car park, a male in a vehicle was clearly under the influence of drugs. He was actually the person that they were looking for, although this was unknown to them at the time. The male suddenly ran off with PC Greenacre in pursuit on foot. A short time later, he returned to the vehicle, followed by PC Greenacre, who had taken a blow to the nose and was bleeding heavily. The male got back into the car and tried to drive it away. PC Bennett tried to get the keys. He was extremely aggressive towards the officers. Despite being tasered twice, the male struck out several times and continued to try and drive away. PC Bennett was unable to move away as the door was open. The vehicle reversed and knocked PC Bennett off her feet. The male deliberately turned the wheels of the car so that when he reversed, he would hit her. PC Bennett was dragged across the floor by the vehicle, but somehow she managed to regain her footing and stand up. On reaching into the footwell, effective baton strikes by both officers made the male pull his arm back. He was reaching for a Stanley blade. PC Bennett managed to place a handcuff on one of his hands and, despite the male being stronger, managed to drag him out of the car. He continued to fight and resist both officers. At one point, the male grabbed hold of PC Bennett's baton, but with repeated strikes from PC Greenacre, he released it. After another struggle, the officers managed to detain the male and get both hands placed into handcuffs. It later became apparent that the week before this incident, the male had tried to run a GMP officer over and had broken their wrist. He was involved in a pursuit on the motorway, which was aborted due to his dangerous driving, and he was repeated to be said to be going out to do a roll moat. He was charged with 10 offences and remanded into custody. PC Greenacre was on a 3-week attachment with PC Bennett and was still on her probation. Her bravery gave PC Bennett the crucial backup that she required in a very frightening situation. Both officers received injuries that required hospital treatment. BAWP President Dee Collins is proud to present PC Julie Bennett and PC Leah Greenacre with their awards for bravery. Mention that Julie Bennett and Leah Greenacre have been selected to receive an award at the International Association for Women in Policing Medal of Valor at Australia this year. The next award we go to is for coaching and mentoring and is sponsored by the Police Federation. If the sponsors could join me on stage, please. PC Nicola Flanagan is inspirational in her motivation, shows amazing leadership qualities, and excels in performance. This year, she has demonstrated her natural ability to motivate and lead 21 police community support officers at Lichfield, Staffordshire. Nicola has established herself as that of a PCSO mentor, presenting a variety of skills to develop the role and becoming a reliable confidant to her team. She has excelled all expectations, demonstrating an effective leadership style and influencing others to perform to the best of their abilities. Nicola has encouraged the PCSOs to effectively investigate crime within their powers, improved awareness of these powers, and supported involvement into proactive and intelligence-led policing. Nicola's mentoring and guidance of the PCSOs has been recognised as good practice by ACC Adderley, and she has gone on to influence PCSOs within the force at other stations. Nicola has coached the team to lead themselves, to think, record and problem solve. They are inspired by her to make a difference to the communities they serve. Nicola's hard work and commitment in encouraging the PCSO's contribution to policing alleviates the pressure off the neighbourhood sergeants. Not only has Nicola's efforts significantly impacted on 21 individuals, she has increased confidence, changed culture and increased performance in Staffordshire Police. BAWP President Dee Collins is proud to present Nicola Flanagan with her award for coaching and mentoring. Nicola has also been selected to receive the International Association for Women in Policing Award in Australia later this year. The next award we come to is Community Service, and it's sponsored by Niche. If I could invite the sponsors to the stage, please. Lynn Butler is a PCSO whose passion, dedication and commitment to the local community she serves knows no bounds. Lynn decided she would set up a boxing club in her spare time at her expense as a diversionary tactic to antisocial behaviour. She then actively recruited the most hard-to-reach young people to join the club, where they were taught discipline, teamwork and respect. Vital skills which really helped to turn around the behaviour of many who attended. This had a dramatic effect on antisocial behaviour in the town of Whitby and had added benefit of improving relationships with young people and the police. Lynn also asked if she could dedicate 50% of her time at the local secondary school in town, as she identified that this would be a fantastic opportunity to make links with a lot of the young people that she was dealing with. Working part-time in the school resulted in a dramatic rise in Lynn's workload, but Lynn did not let this deter her. As a result of her self-generated work in the school, she picked up and dealt with a number of safeguarding issues and introduced some excellent practices in the schools, such as restorative justice. And this has been a really effective tool in dealing with some of the worst cases of bullying the schools have ever seen. Lynn has the trust and respect of a vast number of members from her community. Following a rare robbery in the town, Lynn persuaded reluctant locals to engage and give information that led to the arrest of the suspect. This is all because of the trust and faith that they hold in her consistent ability to live up to her promises. BAWP President Dee Collins is proud to present Lynn Butler with her award for community service. Award is Excellence in Performance, sponsored by Jeff Smith Associates. If I could ask them to join me on the stage, please. We request no publicity on this, please, so no social media. Is an officer of exceptional values and standards. Has been the case officer for 2 recent high-profile counter-terrorism investigations. 2 males plotted to detonate explosives, potentially on the London Underground or in another highly populated area, such as a shopping centre. Their intention was to cause mass fatalities and disruption in order to further an Islamic extremist belief. 11 kilos of viable high explosives were recovered, along with bomb-making recipes and substantial extremist ideology. Recovered during this operation were over 1,000 exhibits, many of which were media-related. Performed the role as case officer and built the evidence in court. This matter was heard at the Old Bailey Central Criminal Court over a 9-week period. He remained in London for this period and was away from home, which included the 23rd of December, and then she was back in court on the 28th of December. The prosecution counsel spoke of their admiration of Linda's professionalism, work ethic, and determination. The case was concluded, and both defendants were found guilty of preparing to commit a terrorist act and possession of material useful to a terrorist. 1 male received life imprisonment with a minimum of 27 years to be served, the other 25. Her second investigation saw a female travelling to Syria with her young son and returned to the UK some 6 months later. Oversaw the safeguarding issues this investigation brought, and as such had to feed 2 investigations, criminal and family court. This resulted in the defendant being found guilty of being a member of a proscribed organisation and encouragement of terrorism. She received 6 years imprisonment and was the first female to be found guilty of being a member of ISIS. For both investigations, took the lead in building the jury bundles, which have been described as a game changer by the prosecution. Unfortunately can't be with us today, but will receive her award later on this month. In the same category, we have a highly commended. Operation Brook was a complex investigation into child sexual exploitation in Bristol. 18 men in total stood trial, charged with CSE-related offences. After 2 trials lasting 19 weeks, a total of 15 men were convicted and sentenced to 120 years imprisonment. It was a result of national significance. DC Joe Winterson played a key role in the investigation. Joe's work on Brooke far exceeded what would normally be expected of a DC in her position. It is clear that without her dedication, professional investigation skills, empathy, and ability to get alongside vulnerable, damaged children, it would not have been able to obtain justice for the victims and safeguard many others. BAWP President Dee Collins is proud to present Jo Winterson with her award for excellence in performance. The next award we come to is Inspirational Woman, sponsored by Specialist Group International. If they could join me on the stage, please. Debbie Hall was first diagnosed with breast cancer 4 days before starting her police service in January 2003. Aged just 32. Despite this huge setback, it did not deter her from pursuing her dream occupation. Following a mastectomy and reconstruction surgery and a course of radiotherapy and chemotherapy, Debbie resumed her career in December 2003. However, not only did Debbie have to deal with her own health, but she was also caring for her mother, who also had cancer. Debbie took inspiration for the way the hospice cared for her mum, and took it upon herself to take part in local events to raise money for the hospice and other local causes. Debbie took part in Coast to Coast, Race for Life, and arranged various charity nights. In 2008, Debbie was tested for BRCA2 gene, which she was found to be positive. She underwent extensive surgery to prevent the illness from coming back, and was informed that there would be a very slim chance that it would return. Debbie began to do voluntary work for the Macmillan nurses, where she acted as a Macmillan buddy, providing support and advice to newly diagnosed cancer patients and support for their families. Debbie's selflessness, determination, and drive in her fight against cancer simply holds no limits. During 2015, Debbie began to feel lethargic and tired. Further tests revealed secondary cancers had been found in Debbie's liver and bone. Doctors told Debbie it was terminal and that without treatment, she would have 3 to 6 months to live. Rather than sitting back and allowing cancer to win, Debbie focused her energies into finding the latest treatments and found a medical trial at Christie's Hospital, Manchester. She continued her charity work during her second cancer and set herself 5 challenges. Debbie wanted to return to full operational duties, but now has a role where she can still get out in her community and make a difference without being fully operational. Debbie has certainly inspired her colleagues, who are simply amazed by her resilience and determination to overcome adversity. Debbie is quite truly an inspirational woman, and an inspiration in her life, and an inspiration to all. BAWP President Dee Collins is proud to present Debbie Hall with her award for Inspirational Woman.
I'd just like to say a few words, if I may. Firstly, I would like to dedicate this award to my late mum, Hilda, for making me the woman I am today. I'd also like to acknowledge and give my thanks to many people who have supported me over the years. Especially my family and friends, and also Cumbria Constabulary for allowing me to be part of their policing family, for which I am truly proud of, and I wear this uniform with great pride. Lastly, I'd like to say it's an absolute honour to win this national award, as it indicates the recognition of my contribution within our policing communities, as well as the charity work and support that I give so much of my time to. I've never thought I was inspirational to others. However, on reflection, I am truly proud to be given this opportunity to inspire others through my own adversity. I have never wanted special treatment and do not want to be a burden in either my police career or my home life. I have put my life in perspective and I have accepted it will be shortened, but I will simply not allow cancer to stop me fulfilling my dreams. Thank you.
Thank you, Debbie. Truly inspirational woman. In the same category, we have a highly commended winner. Tracy Parker was part of the mounted branch from 2005, but by 2010, she was struggling to fasten bridles and do other mounted chores. After being diagnosed with an arthritic condition, she had to leave her dream role of the mounted branch and was transferred to Islington. Despite the side effects of medication, she sought no favours for her condition and hid her pain, never complaining. Due to her passion for animals, she became the local wildlife officer, ensuring the kennels were suitable, set up partnerships with the status dog units, vets, and outside agencies. In February 2014, Tracy suffered another blow when she was diagnosed with cancer. She continued to work up until a week before her operation and then returned to work as soon as the GP would allow her after her chemotherapy treatment. She is the consummate professional, and despite the hardships that she has endured, has remained positive, enthusiastic, and dedicated to her role as a police officer, and now looks forward to helping as an MPS volunteer on her retirement from the force. BAWP President Dee Collins is proud to present Tracy Parker as highly commended for Inspirational Woman. The next award we come to is Leadership and is sponsored by the College of Policing and CMI. If they could join me on the stage, please. Lieutenant Elizabeth Grant is an exceptionally bright and talented Royal Navy police officer whose operational policing knowledge, confidence and natural enthusiasm is in all that she does contribute to making her an inspirational leader. For the past 2 years, she has worked with a large degree of autonomy and authority, befitting of an officer of a more superior rank, by providing oversight of all RMP operations on behalf of the Chief of Royal Navy Police. She is widely respected by all within the Royal Navy Police and is the go-to person for advice and direction in operational matters. As the strategic plan owner for domestic abuse, she has led from the front, influencing others to follow, and in turn, own her strategic plan and tactical approach to tackle the complexities of domestic abuse. She has also identified and implemented improvements within the sex offender management arena, and again, through her own leadership and initiative, corralled key stakeholders within the Ministry of Defence and skillfully negotiated a solution to minimise sex offender management issues developing in the future. She is always the first person to instinctively lean and lead into any short notice commitments, and she genuinely relishes all challenges which are passed her way. Very few are able to match her dynamic persona or her ability to deliver across the full spectrum of RN policing operations. She does so with verve and style, whilst ensuring that business happens, but with an enhanced delivery and greater success. Her influential leadership, easy way with people, and insatiable appetite to accept additional responsibility, coupled with her instinctive ability to look out and up to reduce risk and harm to the community, is highly commendable. BAWP President Dee Collins is proud to present Elizabeth Grant with her award for leadership. The next award we come to is Lifetime Achievement, sponsored by BT. If BT could join me on the stage, please. Are they not here? I was distracted then, I'm sorry. Okay, we'll carry on without them. Sue Copland Scott had her special constable attestation at Penrith Magistrates Court on the 28th of August 1985. She affirmed that she would, without fear or favour, malice or ill will, discharge these duties faithfully, which she did for 31 years. She retired in October 2016 as a special superintendent, the first female superintendent ever for Devon and Cornwall Police. Throughout her service as a special constable in Devon and Cornwall, Sue has made a significant contribution of her time and effort to officers and staff. She has made a substantial difference personally and professionally to everyone she comes into contact with. Once she started her journey on the promotion ladder, she has fought for better conditions, more recognition, and continued professional development for them. Her main aim has always been to raise the profile of special constables. She has actively recruited and nurtured people through a difficult process and shaped a more structured future within the force for volunteers. Sue has provided moral and practical support to several generations of police officer and people using our service. Sue has completed a minimum of over 6,000 hours voluntary service in her time as a special constable. She has dedicated her time to trying to make situations better when things are at their worst. Sue always acts with kindness and compassion and has left a huge legacy for others when she retired. This sums up her leadership. Leadership is not about a title or designation. It's about impact, influence, and inspiration. Impact involves getting results. Influence is about spreading the passion that you have for your work and how you inspire teammates and customers. BAWP President Dee Collins is proud to present Susan Copland-Scott with her award of Lifetime Achievement. So ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to our tea break, which I'm sure you're looking forward to. Don't forget to buy raffle tickets if you haven't already and pre-order drinks to go with your meals at the bar. We'll see you shortly. So the next award that we come to is Officer of the Year, sponsored by Police Mutual. If they could join me on the stage, please. PC Tracy Gunn is a trendsetter, having been the driving force behind the creation of the Police Liaison Officer position at HMP Prison Edinburgh. As the first in Scotland, her innovative practices have been adopted at other prison establishments. At the recent Police Scotland Force Excellence Awards, PC Gunn received Police Officer of the Year Award for the outstanding work that she has done. Discussing with the inmates their experiences of the police, PC Gunn received the expected negative response, but as she persisted, they all agreed that they would want their children to contact the police if in trouble. To try to get this message across, that it was okay to speak to the police, it was decided the prisoners would collaborate in producing a booklet entitled My Daddy and the Police. Over a 5-month period, PC Gunn met the prisoners once a week and gradually establishing trust until she was invited to eat evening meals with them and then meet and play with their children during the visits. Her interaction with the families was well received and the children drew pictures that were used in the booklets. During the last year, she has led the police involvement in 8 sessions at Her Majesty's Prison Edinburgh with 140 children participating. At the last meeting, a prisoner's 7-year-old boy told her that he was no longer scared of the police. This was indicative of what PC Gunn is seeking to achieve. To broaden the impact, PC Gunn has now introduced Meet the Police at Barlinnie, Kilmarnock, Polmont, Shotts and Addywell prisons. PC Gunn was instrumental in securing funding from a number of sources for 2,000 copies of My Daddy and the Police to be printed and has ensured the booklet has been distributed to every prison in Scotland and it's also available in public libraries in Edinburgh. Following the acclaim received from her first primary school visit, PC Gunn has now been invited to other schools and youth clubs and promotes Police Scotland in a professional approachable and enthusiastic manner to children, their parents and community partners. BAWP President Dee Collins is proud to present Tracy Gunn with her award for Officer of the Year. I also need to mention that Tracy has been selected to receive the International Association for Women in Policing Award in Australia later this year. The next award we come to is Police Staff Member of the Year, sponsored by Texas. If they could join me on the stage, please. Kristina Gavrilovich has taken over the post as Modern Slavery Coordinator for Kent and Essex, following her selection from her role as Force Control Room Operator. Kristina is fluent in Romanian and 4 other languages. Kristina brings great energy to the role and has an amazing passion for what she does, which is infectious. Kristina has delivered training to both forces and engaged with external partners to ensure a coordinated response across all agencies. Several awareness-raising events have been held internally since June 2016. These events ensure that staff and officers are identifying this type of criminality, aware of the legislative changes and new processes, and able to tackle it. A pre-national referendum mechanism safe house is now available in Essex thanks to Kristina. This enables the force to provide more effective support to the victim and replaces the previous process whereby the victim was housed in a hotel until alternative safeguarding was arranged. Kristina has reconstructed the partnership board into 4 new groups, which will aim to set tasks and achieve objectives via local partnership support and input for matters regarding postmodern slavery and human trafficking. In early September 16, Kristina volunteered with a charity group arranged via Skylark Church in Chelmsford to attend the Jungle Refugee Camp. Kristina volunteered on her rest days and in her own time. She was not representing either force. She received intelligence that resulted in a trafficker arrest and the safeguarding of potential victims. The force received feedback from a number of partners on her style and approach, and comments such as brilliant and infectious, which is a testament to her in her role. BAWP President Dee Collins is proud to present Kristina Gavrilovich with her award for Police Staff Member of the Year.
everyone. I am so nervous. A little speech, although I have to give a little bit of credit to Angelina Jolie for some of this. I never understood why some people are lucky enough to be born with the chances that I have, to have this path in life, and why across the world there is another human being just like me, with the same abilities and the same desires, same work ethic, and love for their family. Only they sit in a refugee camp or are enslaved in a dark world of sexual exploitation, labor exploitation, and forced servitude, domestic servitude. And they have no voice. I don't know why this is my life and that is theirs, but I will do the best I can with this life to be of use. And this award means that I'm on the right path. So thank you.
Thank you, Christina. The next award we go to is for Volunteer, sponsored by the Police Credit Union and Lady Care. If they could join me on stage, please. Over the past 8 years, Viv Baldwin has worked as a police chaplain across 3 separate police forces. Firstly, as a full-time chaplain with the West Midlands Police, then volunteer chaplain at Central Motorway Police Group, alongside being a part-time lead chaplain with Northamptonshire Police. Viv has been an integral part of the successful development of police chaplaincy across the UK through her roles with the National Association of Chaplains to Police, as secretary for the association and as deputy national police chaplain. Viv is an enthusiastic, energetic and passionate advocate for police chaplaincy and its role in supporting officers, staff and their families. As well as providing first-class personal pastoral care to individuals and their families at times of crisis and when facing very difficult circumstances, Viv works alongside officers and staff day by day, giving support and advice where needed, as a wise confidant and a supportive presence. This is seen particularly in her work with the Central Motorway Police Group, which was highlighted as part of a TV documentary. Fully committed to the organisations of which she is part of, Viv is not afraid to challenge when appropriate, and does so in a forceful and coherent manner to all, irrespective of rank, taking seriously the role of critical friend to the organisation. Viv has established, developed and leads a chaplaincy team within the Northamptonshire Police, which is now an integral part of the force structure, whose role and contribution has been recognised by the award of the Chief Constable's Commendation. Most recently, she has led discussions within the East Midlands region to secure adequate chaplaincy provision across the East Midlands operations, utilising chaplaincy from the constituent forces, as well as seeking to secure a specific chaplaincy resource. BAWP President Dee Collins is proud to present Viv Baldwin with her award for Volunteer.
I'm really proud to receive this. Thank you all very much. But I did just want to say that there are over 800 police chaplains across the country of all faiths and belief systems, supporting officers and families of all faiths and belief systems and those who have no such faith or belief system. So I feel that I'm just an ambassador for that service. Thank you.
Thank you, Viv. The next award, in the same category, we have a highly commended. Volunteer police cadet Charlene Stableford joined Northumbria Police in 2014 as a cadet in Newcastle. It became quickly apparent that she would excel in providing community service and would be an asset to her cadet group and the force. Charlene always took an active part in her training and induction and could often be seen encouraging others to join in and take part in activity groups. Following attestation, Charlene immediately went out into the community on deployments, and since then there has been no stopping her. To date, Charlene has volunteered over 250 hours of her time serving her community. BAWP President Dee Collins is proud to present Charlene Stableford with being a highly commended volunteer. And the final award that we come to is Special Recognition, sponsored by Sally Ramage. Nikki Leeper has shown great dedication to supporting, developing and inspiring women in the organisation. As chair of the Women's Network, she is a champion for women in policing and has worked tirelessly to break down cultural barriers between men and women. Nikki recently organised the Margaret Damar Dawson Award Ceremony, which celebrated women's achievements and those who support the women in service. She is committed through her membership of the Positive Action Working Group to addressing gender inequalities in the workplace and improving the working conditions for men and women in the organisation. She has successfully campaigned at a senior level to introduce female-only fitness tests and modular-based training for CID courses, allowing those with caring responsibilities to apply for CID without having to attend a full-time 4-week residential course miles from where they live. Nikki is also very passionate and dedicated to mentoring officers through promotion boards and takes the time to run mock boards. ACC Taylor stated, "Outside her work for the Women's Network, Nikki deserves recognition for supporting and developing other women. She has been particularly instrumental in ensuring women in her team are given the right development through her coaching and mentoring and providing an environment where they have flourished, improving their capability, resilience and confidence. She is a real credit to her gender and worthy of special recognition." The Devon and Cornwall's Women's Network is seen nationally as a leading staff support group, and this is due to Nikki's leadership and commitment. Nikki is extremely modest about her work and achievements and always recognises those that support her before she recognises herself. It's time Nikki was appropriately recognised for everything that she does for others. BAWP President Dee Collins is proud to present Nikki Leeper with her award for special recognition.
and gentlemen. A little bit of a funny story for you. My +1, DI Zoe Noel, who actually helped nominate me today, she fell poorly at 2 a.m. this morning and had to get a train back home. She is okay. But it's great that I've got Sue Copeland-Smith, so Devon and Cornwall brought home 2 awards, and to Detective Sergeant Joe Sims, who can be here. For me, I'm humbled and honoured to win this. For me, it's the staff and the colleagues that I work with. For tomorrow's my 14-year anniversary with Devon and Cornwall Police, but they work tirelessly to make it a really great place to work, and this award is for them, so thank you.